Yoshi, I was just curious if you could share with us the difference between PA and PAS, parental alienation and parental alienation syndrome.
The way PAS came into vogue was through the child psychiatrist Richard Gardner. Dr. Gardner came up with this term, parental alienation syndrome, as to the signs that he observed in the children who have been subjected to alienating behaviors. And he talked about specific signs, specific symptoms of children who are alienated. And that, after a while, grew into a different category. There's a lot of debate still going on whether the syndrome exists or not, whether the syndrome is covered by DSM-5, the Bible of the Psychiatric Disorders in America. And a lot of courts have started to get away from that controversy. What we have seen in the past decade or so is are the courts coming out and saying, we don't really care about whether this syndrome exists or not. We don't really care what label we put on this disorder or this set of behaviors. But at the end of the day, we accept that a parent can engage in certain set of behaviors that could result into a child being alienated from the targeted parent. At the end of the day, we look at the set of behaviors engaged in by the favored parent, let's say, and how those behaviors have affected the child and how they have affected the relationship that the child has with the targeted parent or the unfavored parent, rejected parent. And when you have evidence of those two things, that's what typically convinces a judge to make a finding of parental alienation. That doesn't mean that the entire syndrome is a hogwash or is junk science. It does exist. There are reliable ways to gauge whether a child is an alienated child or not. The concept of parental alienation is also covered under DSM-5 in 3 separate diagnoses. But that controversy or that debate between PA and PAS, the courts have moved on from there. And rightfully so. You know, at the end of the day, we don't need to waste a parent's resources in trying to battle esoteric theories in courtroom. And some judges have flat out come out and say, there is no debate about this. You know, anyone old enough to drink coffee, for example, can know or does know that a parent can turn a child against other. The children are susceptible to manipulation. The children are susceptible to coaching, undue influence. Even adults are. So it's not too big of a leap to understand and acknowledge that a child can be turned against a parent.
Yeah, I appreciate the way you've sort of distilled that down and taken the labels off of it.